How to stay in control when everything feels completely out of control. Miles, come here. So, JD here, walking through the beautiful northwest of England. I mean, look at that. It's just absolutely stunning. How to stay in control when everything seems really out of control, and it can be difficult, guys. It can be so difficult. Me personally, at the minute, I've got loads of crap going on. I've got stuff to do with work. I've got my partner's currently unwell, you know. Lots of things to do, and it can feel really, really overwhelming at times. And what we have to do is we have to mindset. We have to shift our mindset, and we have to go, okay, well, what can I actually control in this situation? You know, you break it down. You're spending, say, if you're 100% of your energy is focused on, well, I can't believe they said this, or work did this, or there's this thing happening right now. Well, let's focus our attention. Let's shift our attention. Because if we focus all our attention on things we can't control, then we leave little room for what we can actually do about it. And one thing what I've certainly learned in my 32 years on this planet is shit happens, things happen, things go wrong. But the only thing you can control is your response to those things going wrong. So you get a bill through, you get something through, or work put you on a disciplinary over something which you don't agree with, or you know, your partner's not well, or a family member, something happens with them. What can you do about the situation? And by reframing it in the sense of, well, what can you do about what's happening, is a very powerful way of taking back control. Because I'm a little bit religious, and like the Buddha says things like this, like trying to change the past, trying to change other people's intentions is like trying to change the past. It's like trying to stop the sky from moving, and you can't do it. You can't change things which are outside your control. Now you can try, oh gosh, you can try, and we can spend so much energy on our things trying to change the will of other people or the situation, the things, what's happening. But we have to shift our focus to go, okay, well, this is the situation. Now, what can I do about that situation? Is there someone I can call? Is there a bit of research I can do? Can I try and put some money away for the time being? I'm thinking I'm potentially going to lose my job. Okay, well, what can I do about that? And what I can do about that is, instead of sitting there worrying about the outcome, I can prepare myself for what happens if the outcome happens. Because we may spend countless hours or days worrying about something and it might not actually happen. So there's always that possibility there. Miles? Milesy? Come on. So there's always that possibility there as well, that what we are worrying about might not actually come true. Okay. So then, rather than focusing on that, on something that may not happen, we can focus on, well, if it does happen, what's the worst case scenario? And then how can we best prepare for that worst case scenario? So it could be trying to seek alternate employment. It could be trying to find alternate employment. It could be trying to save money in case something happens. It could be reducing your outgoings, reducing your bills in case the worst does happen. So that's one way how we can regain control over, say, job insecurity. Another one could be, okay, let's upskill. Maybe now this is the time to focus on your business full-time, or to explore that hobby, what you've always wanted to do, and see if you can turn it into something. It may be find a part-time job elsewhere for the greater plan of what it is you want to do. Whether that is starting a business or starting a new hobby, or going back to school, going back to university and upskilling. When it comes to money, we will always figure the money out. We will reduce our outgoings. We'll cancel Netflix. We'll cancel Spotify. We will look at a cheaper place to buy food. We'll, maybe if we have to sell our car, okay, well, can we go down to one car? There's always alternatives. You're never out of options when it comes to things like this. And one thing, like I said, what I've learned is going through God, so many different baptisms by fire, and so many different situations like this is that it gives you evidence. I overcame this before, therefore I now have the evidence to overcome this next thing and this next thing. And through difficult things, through hard times, creates resilient people, creates resilient men. And that's what we have to focus on. We have to focus on being able to see what we've got and look at what we can control, thus regaining the control back in our lives when we feel so out of control. If it's health issues, if we're worried about our health, what can we do to, if you find out that you have a history of diabetes in your family, or a history of heart attack or stroke, and it's something what's keeping you up at night, something you're worrying about, what can you do right now to mitigate that, to reduce that from ever happening? Exercise, diet, stress support, stress relief, all these different things we can do. And if we are crippled by an illness, if we do get struck down with some kind of illness, then what can we do about the situation? Sometimes we have to accept the situation for what it is, and that can be very difficult, of letting go of that control and accepting that sometimes things happen and there's nothing much we can do about them other than our outlook and our response to that thing. And I think that's really, really freeing. And it's really powerful. It's a powerful tool of reframing, which anyone can do, which you can do, which I can do. That no matter what life throws at you, no matter what situation occurs, you can overcome it. Supply chain at work has been disrupted. Okay, can we get a new supplier? Is there a different way that we can navigate this? Because the only consistent thing in life is change. The only consistent thing in life is change. And when we understand that, when change happens, good or bad, we can roll with it. We can roll with what change is now in our lives. You broke up with your girlfriend, or you found out your girlfriend was being unfaithful, or maybe you're just falling out of love, or maybe you're worrying is she falling out of love with you. What can you do about that? You can accept it, or you can fight against it. If you choose to fight against it, what can you do in that situation to try and rekindle the relationship, but not at the detriment of your own health and the detriment of your own well-being? And then if you get to the point where you go, you know what, I can't do this anymore, what can you then do? Because is making that decision and making that step to improve your own life, is that better than living a life of, just quiet misery? Yeah, okay, things aren't too bad, things aren't too great, but I've been in the relationship for the past 10 years and it's fine. You don't really get any real joy out of it. You're just comfortable. If you want to accept that as your lot in life, then that's fine, that's up to you. But if you want to change it, then look at what you can change. And remember, when you feel out of control, what can you control? And what can you do? What small steps can you take each day to better put yourself in a better position than you were yesterday? And it might be something tiny, it might be something infinite, it might just be an email, it might be a job application, you might be looking at applying for a course or looking at a business opportunity. It could be starting a YouTube channel. But small changes every day over time will compound into something truly great. And it's by taking action today that we regain our control over tomorrow. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you again tomorrow. Subscribe for more.